Hello, hello, hello. All right, so we're doing the live shamanic healing session. So I'm just going to get this link here. Copy. Okay, and I'm sending that on over. Okay, so Trixie, if you're watching, I've just sent you the link. I've sent you the link, so go ahead and click on that. And then as soon as you hop on, we're going to get started. Oh, this is going to be a magical one. I can already feel. All right, so just waiting. She's going to pop up, and then we're going to start this. So for everyone who's just kind of tuning in, what I am doing is I am going to be doing a live shamanic healing session for someone who popped on and Spirit told me, like, all right, give them a shamanic healing session. So we're going to do that live here so everyone can kind of experience. Now, know, as we're waiting for Trixie to show up, that this shamanic healing session is available to anyone who is open to receiving the healing. Just because you're not the one in the live group with me here right now does not mean that you cannot benefit from the healing. So you don't have to be the ones in particular that I'm focusing on. If you're open to receiving, then you, how to put this? Come on, Spirit, bring me the words. Yes, if you're open to receiving it just by being here and opening yourself to the energies, you can release all kinds of things just by focusing and opening up to the experience. So this healing is for everyone, even though I will be specifically focusing on Trixie. Hopefully she locks on here in a minute. I probably should have had her on before I went live, now realizing, but it looks like she just saw the message. So I'm assuming any second now she is going to hop on with us. And there is going to be magic. Yes. Let's turn that off so we don't have noises going on. All right. Waiting for Trixie. And who knows? We'll see how this goes. Yes. Oh, Magic Mike says, may the one chosen be a conduit for all. Yes. How beautiful. Thank you, Magic Mike. Absolutely. Yes. May the person who is receiving the healing be a conduit for all who are open and allow in the space of allowance to receive it. May they be the conduit for all of us to receive this healing as well. So thank you. We'll see how this goes. If this is as magical as Spirit is kind of having me feel that it might be, there may be more of these. We may even alternate. Instead of me just doing psychic readings all day, it may be both. We may do psychic readings and shamanic healings back and forth. Okay, well, Trixie, we're going to wait for a little while longer. If not, I don't know. Who knows? We may need to make this into either another video or just pick someone else, whoever wants to come on. So we're going to give Trixie another few minutes here, but we have been waiting for like 4 minutes already. So we will see what happens. Trixie, I hope you're with us. I hope you can join. Oh, and Hank says, anything that doesn't allow that to happen with these. Pot and Pock. Yes. Pot and Pock is like point of destruction and point of creation. Hank is a lot better at describing it than me, but you're basically like, the way I heard the one lady describe it, in pointing at whatever it is, the things that don't allow this magic to happen, by pointing it at the point it was created and the point it is going to be destroyed, you kind of like pull the card out from the house of cards and everything collapses. So all of that is just gone. Katie says, can you read me? Not doing readings right now. Oh, Trish is on. Trish, welcome.
Hi. It's Trixie.
Oh, hi. I don't know why I said Trish. Trixie.
Okay.
Welcome.
Get lots of other names, so no worries.
How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. Thank you. So how we're going to do, have you ever had shamanic healing before?
Yes.
You have. Wonderful. Have you had distance healing before?
Yes.
Okay, so you're already pretty familiar with how this might work. Now, my shamanic healing is probably different than shamanic healing you've had in the past. As of right now, I am basically 100% spirit taught. I'm not trained in any of the lineages, although I am currently apprenticing under a Paco that was trained by the Quero people in the Andes. So I'm learning. I'm going to be a Paco. But as of right now, all my experience is from the spirits. So this will probably be even different than you've had in other shamanic healing sessions. So is there anything in particular that you're comfortable with sharing that we're looking to focus on today?
Well, I think I was looking for some guidance and perhaps healing around the career, moving more publicly, being in more of the public eye, perhaps. And I'm sure there's blockages within that are unconscious that I'm hoping maybe you'll find or locate or bring some insight to so I can move more fluidly in that direction.
Okay, gotcha. And anything physically, any pain, discomfort anywhere in the body?
They come and go. So yeah, I'd say there is nothing that's really drawing my attention, to distraction level, if that makes sense. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Ache and pains, they come and go. I've had broken bones, maybe some joint stuff and headaches now and then, they come and go. It's all pretty, I think, fairly typical. Nothing that I found associated specific to like what I'm looking to gain information on with my career, if that's helpful.
Okay. And just so you know, if I don't, we're not doing a reading today. Just so you know, this is
Right.
shamanic healing.
Sometimes all the information can come through in that way. So I'm just being very, very open with whatever.
Absolutely. So all that I need you to do is just be in the space of allowance. If things come through, you're starting to feel things, and you want to verbalize something, like feeling a really strong energy or an emotion, or you start to see or feel whatever it is. Feel free to share that. That can often help me to sort of refocus my attention on exactly where I need to be focusing it. But for now, all I need you to do is relax. And first off, before I get the fire going and all of this fun stuff, do I have your permission to energetically enter your space to do this healing?
Yes, you do. And thank you for asking.
Yes, thank you. All right. So go ahead and relax. You can eyes closed, eyes open, whatever feels most comfortable for you. But get in a position where you're yeah, that's perfect, where you're not going to have to move much or anything. So I just realized there's clothes and things all over back here. Okay, so agua de Florida. Ompuy, ompuy, ompuy. I call upon my guides, my angels, my ancestors, my star beings, my gods, my goddesses, all my plant guides, all of my animal guides, the elements, the water, the earth, the sun, the ocean, the moon, the wind, the rainbow. Wiracocha. Please work in me, with me, and through me. Use me as the vessel, the hollow bone through which your incredible wisdom, your power, and your healing will flow through today. And I call upon all of Trixie's guides, her animals, her plant spirits, her ancestors, her angels, her star beings, all of her guides of all shapes, forms, and sizes. Also work with me. Help assist me in bringing in the energies that need to be brought in, removing the hucha, the energies, the blockages that need to be removed and transmuted. Assist me in creating the space and actualizing beautiful healing today. Ooh. Uramna Siyarana Kurandera Umasa Iravare Armanara Undari Armasaya Ramna Dera Sumneira Imna Deya Ramdeya Urmareya Ramna Saya Rumna Pura Inare Umnareya Ruksate Armana Ramda Seyara Surmaneya Rakataya Rumusani Yorka Yamataya Pura Pura Reya Rumukaran Sayer Manar Umatariya Karemna Seyarim Navara Shumaya. And these three beautiful beings that have made themselves present, please bring your energy and your healing here. Distill it down into its purest, most loving, light, peaceful form. Bring this energy in through the crown of the head. And this energy that wishes to come in through the solar plexus, distilling you down to the purest form, into your highest vibration, enter in through the solar plexus, creating your download, transmuting the energy which needs to be transmuted. And to these cords which exist, keeping us attached to things that no longer serve us, I gather you all up at the navel. And being in the space of allowance, all of these cords which no longer serve, leaving the ones that lead us to higher and higher vibrations, leaving those intact. All other cords I sever now. And I call upon all of these energies, these new CK lines which lead to higher joy, higher love, higher peace. Please begin to feed in this through the navel. We drink in the pure energy of Sami, of light, the energy that will help us to grow, to heal, to clear away, and refill us with energy that our bodies will use to create all of the beautiful change and actualize everything that we desire. Atarami yani imaradu ya ire manairu ararar manare edu. Ooh, okay. This heaviness, this hucha that I feel, it just rose up right towards the bottom of the heart. And Father Sky, bring in your healing energy. Fill all of these spaces with your light. Sayadanave Ida Ida Ie Letting go of all expectations, bringing your attention to me and the host of beings who are now gathering around the top of your head. I'm going to gather all of our energy and our intent into 3 powerful breaths. On this first breath, any of these blockages, any of these heavy energies, which you still feel that are lingering, that have been brought up, that need to be cleared for today, the first breath begins to powerfully clear those away. Connecting, noticing this feeling. The second breath, clearing away anything left from those blockages and anything new that has arisen. Clearing all of that away instantly, effortlessly with this powerful breath. And on the third breath, leaving you like a blank vessel, leaving nothing behind, so that after this we can fill you back up with light. Calling upon Sami, the pure light from Father Sky, please rain down, entering through the top of the energy field, in through the crown, washing all throughout the field of energy, inside of every part of the body, to the tiniest molecule, to the smallest subatomic particle, to the largest grand scheme effects of our energy, out to the farthest reaches of the cosmos, filling Trixie now with the highest love, light, and joy. Sayaranare yadura miya ramnare yarmaniya ture yarane yamanare urmana yuri yuri manaya iruvariyamna. And finally, calling upon Pachamama, our beloved Mother Earth, bring your grounding energy at the core of the earth, that milky opalescent light, which is connected to the core of our sun, which is connected to the core of our galaxy, which is connected to the core of all things. Bring your beautiful grounding energy here. Bringing that energy up in through the soles of the feet, inside of the legs, quickly traveling up until the energy comes all the way up to the hips, merging, and then traveling through the central column, in through the spine, up the throat, head, and out of the top, through the crown, showering down, circulating back, down and into the earth, forming a beautiful circuit, and just feeling that flow as we thank all of the beings who are present for this healing today. To all of Trixie's guides, to her animals, her plants, her ancestors, to all of the elemental beings, the star beings, all of her guides of all shapes, forms, and sizes, and all of the beautiful energies that were present today that provided their incredible healing and helped us to transmute these things that needed to be transmuted. I thank you all so much for being present. And thank you to all of my guides, my animals, my ancestors, my angels, my star beings, all of my guides of all shapes, forms, and sizes, thank you so much for working with me to aid me in being that pure hollow bone, that vessel for the healing, wisdom, and energy to flow through. I thank you, and thank you to all of the elements. Thank you, Pachamama. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you to the wind, the water, the sun, the rainbow, to the great creator, creatress. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And how are you feeling now?
I feel very good. Thank you. It was wonderful. Yes, I do appreciate it. And I can feel your sincerity and your genuinism in what you're bringing through. Oftentimes, many practitioners, regardless of their training, will often come from ego. And so they will be perceiving what they believe needs to happen. Where with you, I could feel that you set that aside. You didn't come from that place. So that speaks volumes to a good healer. So thank you.
And thank you so much. Yeah, uh, it's funny because sometimes I come back from that and I'll have clients ask, well, I was feeling this. What were you doing? And a lot of times I go, I don't know. I wasn't really there. Like I
Yeah,
am, I'm
yeah,
conscious and aware of like what's going on. I used to, in healing, there was a time when I was younger where I would really sit and, like I'd really just try and hold this laser like focus to be doing something. And then spirit came through and was like, listen, uh, when you're ready for us to help us out, for us to help you out with this healing, you can just let go of the reins and we'll help you out. And so now
yeah.
they're all present and I'm like, okay, who's next? Let's do this. So
Yes, and it shows. Yes, it's tremendous the depth of healing that actually happens when we can get out of our own way, right?
yeah. Oh,
Until we can't, and then we seek those of you that can help us, right? It's just sort of a nice exchange, paying it forward.
oh yes, absolutely. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
And
I do appreciate it very much.
yes, you're very welcome. And I thank you so much for coming on and being in the space of allowance for this healing to happen for this time.
Yes, and I'm glad you mentioned that because it's really, really helpful, I believe, for your clients or your viewers of this to really understand the surrendering that they will benefit from is the way I would say that, right? That they also set aside their ego or their distractions, just surrender. It's like going limp like a noodle, just kind of being open to the high frequency healings that the source is bringing through or that spirit's bringing through. And that's tremendous because we don't know what we don't know about ourselves, even. So we often block ourselves unconsciously. You know what I mean? So when we relax or whenever someone's experiencing a session, I really highly recommend that they get into that surrender state. And with every breath, it's like watching a movie too, because at some point you're like tense and tight and holding, and then I'll breathe. And as I exhale, you just soften and relax more like a noodle, just surrendering to the energy, trusting in source that it's going to happen. And it will in much deeper way. I did feel dizziness, which is very common, I believe, with these types of sessions, right? Dizziness, buzzing, zinging, tingling, any number of different sensations throughout the body are good validations that things are shifting.
Yes,
It's nice
absolutely.
that way.
And I like to warn people sometimes afterwards, like when you go to stand up, you're really mindful. I like the, like when you get off of an airplane, what do they say? It's like, be careful when opening the overhead bin as packages may have shifted during travel.
Yeah,
Because we've shifted a lot of things energetically. So sometimes people stand up and they're like, whoa, they do get that kind of lightheaded feeling, but that's just because so
yeah,
much has moved. Um,
yes, yes,
and yeah, what you said about like the feelings of tension and then like relaxing, those are really like the two kind of syllables that spirit communicates through is that tension and relaxation. But like you
yes,
said, that kind of like going limp and like surrendering, the way my teacher put it is the way that we slip into this kind of work and we're able to experience it fully is like when you're sitting in a bathtub, that kind of where you sit back and you relax and that kind of that
yes,
kind of feeling that is how you slip and whether you're on the receiving end or you're doing the work or you're communicating with spirit guides, whatever, that kind of
yeah.
that relaxation of just melting and sinking into it, that's how we really access this stuff.
And that's perfect. Yeah, I haven't heard that particular analogy. I often will refer to the baby. an infant, anybody who has ever held a baby, and it could be a person baby or maybe a puppy, a kitten baby, like these, anything like that with the innocence of that kind of presence. It's like we forget everything else going on. That moment that you're, holding that baby and just in love, you're just in awe. Nothing else matters. Everything else is gone. You're just in that one focal moment of what preciousness it is. You know what I mean? So it's that same kind of surrendering approach. You let everything else go.
Yeah. Oh, and that what you said right there, in that moment when you're experiencing that love for that baby, whether it's, human, kitten, puppy, whatever it is, there's no, the mind isn't coming in and trying to figure out why this is a beautiful experience. You're
No,
not going, oh,
right.
well, this is
Mhm.
beautiful because they're a baby and they're only this old, and I can see like there's these number of hairs and the nose is so small. Like, no, none of that's happening. You're just in the
No.
moment of there's just pure love, and
Yeah.
part of the reason is, um, uh, you know, uh, well, the reason that the experience is so magical is because that experience of that new life, that innocence that we just connect with on that deep level instinctively, clears away. Like you said, the ego
Yeah.
steps out of the way in that time, and we're no
Yes.
longer we're not experiencing that through the filters of the mind. We're experiencing it purely for what it is there in that moment,
Yes.
and
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
and we can learn the lesson from those experiences, but we can learn that all experience can be like that if we choose.
Mhm.
If we
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, if we step out of our own way, like you said, and we really are here to experience the beauty and the divine nature of everything that ever happens in this moment. Every experience can be so powerfully joyful and full of love, and
Yes.
it's always right here. So thank you.
And what a better time to even express that when you're outside in nature, with spring being here right now, everything blooming or budding or just perking up out of the ground, right? The beauty in all of that as well is a good opportunity to practice it, even if it's only just in small amounts, and it's extending longer, 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 so that perhaps throughout your day you're doing it more than not.
Yes,
It's
yeah,
ideal. It takes practice to get out of our old habits and routines to get there, but it's so good when we do. And
yeah.
I did want to
Oh, go
also
ahead.
just touch in real quick too on the twitching. I don't know if you were yourself seeing it or not, but often when I'm opening myself enough for the energy to flow through, I will twitch. Some people do, some people don't. It's a validation for me. It's like a truth or an accuracy. So as you were speaking or sharing with what you were working with, then my body would resonate with however that was being received. Oftentimes the twitch was a validation or it was a confirmation type of a reaction. I've got other friends that will burp. It's just a natural body movement or behavior that helps things shift in the body. So sometimes I might have been jiggling. Sometimes it was just a full on twitch, but that's very normal for our body to say, move some of the energy with it. So if your viewers are seeing any of that, so they understand a little more.
Oh yes, thank you for bringing that up. And yeah, no, everyone has different ways of kind of allowing these like releases to happen and manifest, or like how they show physically. I'm like I also twitch. Let me see. Oh, sorry. I was going to say Hank was just saying he's my brother on the path who I do a show with. He was saying thank you for being willing to come on with Casey McBride. I thought he was asking if you wanted to be on Stir Crazy Shamans for a second, which that would be cool too. But we can talk about that after. But yes, like I will often, my body twitches when I receive healing, and then I have these big like a rolling breaths, this that kind of come through. And the other thing, some people will to release emotions, like a lot of people are like will they'll start to cry. But the thing that happens for myself more often is I actually laugh. It's like laughter comes through as these releases are happening, and that's a really powerful way that energy
It
releases.
really is. And it's just so enjoyable because it really breaks up the monotony of the sad or, the fear of whatever is getting released. The humor is extremely healing. Yes, I enjoy it as well.
And that's it brings up another great. So one of the big concepts, or what is it? How to put it? Well, anyway, in the tradition I'm learning, in Quechua, the word is puklei, and puklei means play, and the same word for play, puklei, is the same word that they use to describe like children playing soccer, as they also use like the kind of sacred play that happens during ceremony. It's the same word, and so when we open up and and we allow ourselves to sort of play in these experiences, spirit is very willing to play along with us. And even if it's a healing of like a lot of really intense heaviness, for me as the healer, so I feel the things happening inside of the other person's body. I see them and feel them, and it's like there are times when there's intense, heavy energy moving, but I'm still playing with it. And when it becomes serious work, and we're really like just okay, this is that kind of constricted energy.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
really our energy field becomes so much more dense, and the energy it will still flow through, but it flows through much more slowly, and the universe isn't nearly as willing to like play along with us and give us that.
I agree. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to move energy through something that's so compacted.
Yes.
It makes sense in a way when you're really understanding energy in the form of frequency more than you used to. You know what I mean? That makes sense. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like watching a movie. Like I was saying, oftentimes you don't realize you're getting all tense, but the action in it's gotten so activated and so amped up, and before you know it, you're clinching the armchair or the person next to you, or you're holding your breath and you don't know it. Sometimes it just happens, and then hopefully something funny comes from it to break it up. And then as soon as it does, you just feel it all shift and leave, and it really lightens it up. So it's wonderful. In fact, one of my favorite sayings is to never trust a shaman without a sense of humor. So,
Oh, I love it. Yes, I agree fully.
yeah,
I couldn't agree any more than that.
yeah,
And even these Pacos that I'm learning from, they showed up. Well, I traveled to them, but they invited me to do so in spirit the first night that I was initiated into this tradition. And oh my gosh, did they just mess with me the whole time? They have like a just wild sense of humor. Like not a
yeah.
moment was serious at all. Um, but with what you said again, real quick, the whole um, like being tense while watching a movie, then the funny moment happens, and it's just that big like, whew, and everything relaxes. Now,
Yeah.
just as instantaneous as that shift can be from like that tensed up like action moment to like that relaxation and like the like laugh that happens, healing can be that instantaneous as well if we allow it to be.
Yes.
If we're in the space where we've decided mentally that like healing has to be this really complex, difficult, long, crazy process, then it has to be that way for that person.
True. That's
But if
true.
we're in the space where we realize that uh, what reason is there for it to actually have to take so long and be so complex, other than that you've bought into that idea? When we realize there is no
Exactly.
reason for that, healing can literally can happen with a handshake.
And
And
it is very dependent on the person's belief system. I believe that has a huge factor to it, right? That we were taught or programmed, or we made our own conclusions, whatever that is that says, no, that's not possible, or it only happened back in the day with Jesus, or, whatever. But it is true, especially now with the new earth, the new energy, the new frequencies. I believe that a healing can be very spontaneous as long as that person believes it's possible and is open and willing to let that happen. I believe you're absolutely correct on that.
yeah, definitely. And oh wow, I had a thought there and it just kind of disappeared. Isn't that wonderful? Uh, well, this was wonderful to have you on. I thank you so much for sharing and sticking around and talking afterwards. This was
You're very welcome. And thank you, Casey, so much for your gifts and talents. And I also thanked your team and everyone else that we do and maybe don't know that are assisting us.
yeah.
So
Oh,
thank you to all of those high frequency benevolent beings. Thank you.
yes, thank you. And if you haven't, I don't know if we're friends on Facebook, but reach out to me. Send me a friend
So
request. Love to connect because this was
that'd be wonderful.
beautiful energy. We call it Aini, like that divine reciprocity, the sharing of energy. So that was beautiful today. So,
Wonderful. I
all
appreciate it as well. Thank you.
right. Thank you so much. And have an absolutely beautiful day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Putting up our fun little, oh, here, where is it? Here's the logo. All right.